Hi there, so my name is Zoe, OMG, and I had previously filmed a video that I wanted to be the first video on my channel, and then I realized that I actually didn't want that to be the first video on my channel because it just wasn't the impression I wanted to present, and maybe I'll upload it later. I just wanted to do something a little bit more meaningful, and I know that that seems weird because you don't want to get you don't want to be too personal when it's your first video, but I feel like it will really help you guys get to know me and who I actually am instead of this fake on camera personality that I feel like sometimes I just find myself slipping into. I'm going to make a video about how to live a better life, and better is a really broad term, and I know that it means different things to different people, and I acknowledge that there are differences in the way people think about this, but I just wanted to add my voice to the conversation because I felt like I had something to say. So my first thing, and I think this is really important, and it's something that a lot of the times we don't think about, and the first thing is live for meaning, not happiness. Saying that happiness is kind of a temporary thing. You're sad one day, you're happy the next, and that's just life, and that's how it goes. And it's just, happiness is not, I feel an accurate measure of where you are in life. Happiness is a really good thing to shoot for, and happiness is a really, really great feeling, but we need to live more for meaning, and we need to think about having meaning in our lives as opposed to just being happy, because being happy is a secondary thing to living a life of meaning. I feel like meaning is that thing that you have to fall back on. When you're having a really bad day, you don't have that happiness. But that doesn't mean that your life just sucks and that nothing is worth it anymore, because you have that sense of meaning to fall back on. And it's not bad to be happy, but we need to think about cultivating meaning as well. And I actually read an article in a class I'm taking in school about this, and it actually said that people who report feeling happy but not they feel happy but they don't feel like they're living a meaningful life have the same gene patterns and brain patterns as people who are enduring chronic adversity. If you are superficially happy but your life has no meaning, your body thinks that you're enduring chronic adversity because you don't feel fulfilled. And I just think that that's really interesting, and I think it's just, I don't know. It's weird to think about, but I think it's important to think about as well. So my second thing is know your intentions. And this is something that one of my dance teachers says a lot. And she always says, what's your intention? What is your intention in making that movement? What is your purpose? Why are you doing that? And so I think that we need to apply that to life too, because if you're doing something and then you stop and think, what's my intention in this? You'll either say, well, why am I doing this? There's no point in doing this. This is not something that will help my life be a better. Or you'll stop and say, this is something that I really do need to do, and then know why you're doing things. And it comes back to that meaning is more important than happiness. I just think that that's another thing that's really important to think about, is what are your intentions? Hi, sorry about that momentary interruption. I had to go eat dinner. But yeah, I was in the middle of talking about knowing your intentions, and yeah, I just want to sum that up. Just know your intentions, because if you know why you're doing something, then doing it actually is a lot more fulfilling than if you were to just do it and not know why. So yeah, that's my second piece of advice. And my third is choose friends who support you in everything you are, not necessarily everything you do. Now, it's really important to choose the right friends in your life. And a lot of people say friends should support you in everything you do. And I don't think that's true, because what if you're breaking law? Then, like, friends shouldn't support you in that. And so you want to have friends that support you and love you for who you are, but at the same time, when you're about to do something really stupid, they're like, stop, you're about to do something really stupid. Your friends shouldn't support every single little thing you do. That's not what friendship is about. They should accept you for who you are and support who you are, but not necessarily everything you do. My fourth is put yourself first sometimes. And it's great to help others, but sometimes you have to put yourself first. Sometimes you're sick and you can't go out there and like volunteer if you're sick, and you need to just draw the line and say no, like I cannot do this thing because I want to rest, or I have a lot of homework I need to do. Just put yourself ahead of other things sometimes. It's just taking care of yourself, because you can't take care of others if you're not taking care of yourself. And my fifth is be good to both your long and short-term selves. There's this Facebook page called Humans of New York that I like, and so one of their posts showed up on my wall, and they like interview people just in New York. They take their pictures and then they interview them. And this one woman had said, I wish when I was younger I'd thought more about my long-term self instead of just my short-term self, because I did things that only felt good to my short-term self and not my long-term self. I think it's important to do things that are good for our future self, things that will be beneficial to us many years down the road. I also think it's very important to do things that make us feel happy and fulfilled at this moment. Because if you're doing all this stuff to prepare for the future, then like that's great, like good for you, and I'm sure you're gonna have a really successful future, but what do you do now? What makes you happy now? Like, what are you doing now to make yourself have a meaningful life at this moment, and not just the life that you've created for yourself 10, 20 years down the road? And so yeah, sometimes it's good to eat vegetables and exercise and do all your homework and study for that test and don't procrastinate and get everything done and do a lot of things and be in a lot of activities. But sometimes it's good to just put off our homework and watch TV for a couple hours and just relax and do what feels good to us now. Sometimes it's good to eat that brownie, those 3 pieces of pizza. That's okay. But the rule is don't do anything only for your short-term self that will affect your long-term self negatively. And that's like drinking a lot, doing drugs, doing stupid things, breaking the law. And I think that really the majority of the time it should be your long-term self, but you can do things that make you happy now. You can do things that make you frivolously happy. It's like, especially if you're young, like especially if you're my age, you're supposed to make mistakes. And as long as you don't make the same mistake twice, then you're good. Like, but you know, don't do anything that could like negatively affect your future in like a major way, but your short-term self is important too. My sixth one is acknowledge the reality of the situation and then find the silver lining. Positivity is a great thing, and you should be positive, and you should look for the good in everything, or mostly everything, because some things just don't have good in them, and like that's a thing, like it's okay. But first, before you look for the good, before you say, oh, this is actually a blessing, you need to acknowledge that it's not the ideal situation. It's not where you want to be. If you're stuck in traffic, you think, okay, I don't want to be stuck in traffic, I don't want to be late, but then you find the silver lining to it. Acknowledge the fact that it's not ideal, it's not what you want to happen, but then you have to realize that it's okay, like, there's a silver lining, but first you have to acknowledge the reality. My seventh one, and this is really important to me, and it's something that's actually changed my life in just like the past 6 months, and it is know your inner greatness. I watched this TED Talk from this, I think she was like 15 at the time, I think she's like 16, 17 now, from Juliet Doherty, who is a student at the San Francisco Ballet School. She gave this TED Talk and the main subject was about authorizing yourself to be great. And I thought that was a strange way to think of it, because we always think of greatness as something that is achieved through like many years of hard work or just like a stroke of luck. And she pointed out, no, we're all born great. And when we practice something, we're not practicing to become great, we're practicing how to use our greatness in a certain way. And I thought that was a really great way to think about it. And so, like, dance class for the past few months, I've gone in and I've just said, I am authorizing myself to be great today. And it's changed so many things, and it's just made me think about life in such a different way. Like, my next one is sometimes you have to put what you need ahead of what you love. This is really true, because maybe you love chocolate, but you want to be healthy, and if you eat chocolate all the time, then you're not going to be healthy. Like, again, like, chocolate's okay, but not 24/7, and sometimes you have to say, this is my first priority, and I may love this thing, but it's getting in the way of what my first priority is right now. You have to. Sometimes I have to miss dance because I have too much homework, and that sucks. And I like dance a lot more than I like doing homework, but sometimes you do have to put what you need ahead of what you love, and that sucks, and I wish it wasn't that way, but it just is, and you have to acknowledge this. Your first priority isn't the thing that you love the most, it's the thing that is most important in that moment. And yeah, it's just important to remind yourself that what you love is really important, and it's important to do what you love, but it's also important to do what you need to do. And my last one, which I think goes along with the entire theme of this video, is tell other people about your beliefs, but realize it probably won't change theirs. Now, this entire video, I've been telling you about what I believe makes a good life. But that's not going to be the same for everyone, and you may have your own idea of what it means to have a good life, and that's okay. It's normal because, again, we are all individuals, and this is just what I believe. And if you got something helpful out of this video, then that is great. But I know that a large amount of people are going to watch this video and then think, no, that's wrong. And that's okay, because I acknowledge the fact that I can't change the way another person thinks. That's not how it works. And you should share your beliefs with the world, and you should tell people this is what I think, but at the same time realize that there's a high chance that they're not gonna believe you, they're not gonna change the way they think, they're not gonna change the way they live their life. And so I made this video in an effort to help people, and I realized that a lot of you won't actually apply these principles to your life, and that's okay, and I'm okay with that. So thank you so much for watching. This has been a really long video. I have talked way too much, and I'll probably edit out like more than half of it so that it will actually like upload to YouTube, because right now it's like over half an hour long, and yeah. And I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you realize I'm not usually this serious and like, you know, I can be fun too. Shh, don't tell anyone. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching and sitting through this entire basically lecture about how you should live and what is good and what is wrong and what is right and stuff and wow, okay. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope that at least one of you has something good to take away from this video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, hopefully. I love you all, and you're all beautiful people. Bye!